Self-Destruct sequence activated.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? And welcome to another edition of the Self-Destruct Sequence podcast. Glad to have you here. Today is Saturday, June 25th, and this is episode number 27. As mentioned on our Facebook page not too long ago, we're kind of going to more of an every other week schedule as long as it's just me. Morfod, last I talked to him, he was working on getting a summer, not an internship, I forget the word he used, but so he's got some serious stuff going on, and glad that he's getting that settled. So you're stuck with me for a while. So let's get right into it. We got a little bit of news, not too much this week, but we're going to talk a bit about Descent Underground. Of course, it has been almost what is today? I just said it was the 25th, so it's been almost a month since we've had a release from the Descent Underground folks, and the main reason for that is that they have recently upgraded their Unreal Engine 4 to the latest patch, and apparently that has as Wingman put, it has broken their game into pieces, and they're stuck trying to put them all back together. They even released a rather amusing video with Pixley trying to fix a particular bug. It kind of looks like the ship's not firing, is what the bug looks like. So it's kind of a major bug. So hopefully they can get that worked out within the next couple weeks and get back to the regular releases. In the meantime, they've teased us with a co-op mode coming soon. Cockpit, I've seen. Some stuff on the Wingman's hangar, and all kinds of cool stuff. So definitely keep with them. Of course, people are still playing the game, so and we'll get to that a little later. How you can get involved in that. It's a good time too. So that's Descent Underground. And I remember that Sublevel Zero also recently had a similar problem where they upgraded their engine and the lighting just went completely to hell. It was very bad, and now, according to one of the developers, they have to redesign every single prefabricated room in the game to account for the new lighting. So both those titles having a bit of a trip up, but I'm sure they'll all get back on track as soon as they can. Of course, coming up in August, first week of August, first weekend actually, is going to be Jedi Luke's Cajun Country Descent Land 2. This is happening out in Louisiana between Thursday, August 4th, and Sunday, August 7th. 4-day event. And he just recently made a Facebook post. He's looking for a roll call for the people that are planning on going or are still thinking about going, not sure if they're deciding. He's trying to make sure that he's got his accommodations ready and set up. So if you're planning to attend this land, definitely go check out that page. We'll have that link in the show notes when we post the episode. And you'll definitely want to respond. If you're on Facebook, you can just search for Cajun Country Descent Land or ask one of the DCL people to add you to that group, and you can get access to it. And tell us if you're coming. The more, the merrier. And finally, of course, this is kind of more of a larger gaming note, but we have Rip Your Wallets, aka the Steam Summer Sale. Of course, lots of games on sale right now, and I'd be amiss to not go over the rundown of games that are discounted currently in the 6th Degree realm, starting with Minor Wars 2081. That game is 70% off. You can pick that up for $3. No matter what you might think of the developers of the game or anything like that, that's a steal for a game in this genre. So $3 for Minor Wars. Retrovirus is at 60% off. You can pick that up for $4. I highly recommend that for the single-player campaign. Then there's Chromaya, which is kind of a bullet hell. It's a very interesting game. It kind of punishes you for doing well. So you kind of want to just skip killing everything as much as you can. Just kill what's necessary. You can pick that up. It's 75% off at $5. Neon XS's, of course, that's spelled Neon XSZ. That's 50% off right now. You can pick that up for $10. And even the Big Daddy Descent Underground, despite being in early access, that's normally a fairly hefty price. But you can pick it up for 25% off right now. It's $22.50. You can pick that up for over on Steam. And all these games, there's positive qualities about all these games. And if you're even remotely a fan of the 6th Degree of Freedom genre, I would recommend picking up at least a couple of the games on this list. So definitely check those out. I missed Sublevel Zero entirely. We're gonna check that out. So let's check out Steam-powered Sublevel Zero. We'll just do a quick search, probably find it right away. So I know yeah, they're 33% off right now. You can pick that up for $10. So sub level zero, $10, and that's probably my pick out of that group right there, for the best game of, especially if you're a big fan of the single player uh, type. If you love the Descent one, go and find the keys and then accessing the doors. This is that kind of game, and a very very fun roguelike game. $10 is all it is right now. So definitely go check that out. It's got a pretty decent community behind it too right now. A lot of people waiting for their VR release to come soon. They have a VR in beta, but they're looking to make a full release on it pretty soon. So yeah, so that's a Steam summer sale. 6 degrees of Steam, we'll call it. And that does it for the news this week. Of course, we have the Descent Rangers. They're actually quite busy lately. Not only do they have their bi-weekly events, but they're starting this team squad tournament. That's actually going on right now. It started about half an hour ago. And basically it pits the 4 squads against each other. It's an elective tournament. That last game was sub-level 0. But yeah, the team squad tournament, the black squad is currently leading the tournament with 299 points. And that's, like I said, that's been going on since 2 p.m. Eastern. And I do believe that they have another couple events lined up for this. So definitely check that out over at DescentRangers.com. And in 2 weeks' time, we will have the next game event, which this one is called Fusion Farm. And if you're not familiar with the level Kilns Fusion Farm in Descent 1, it's a very interesting, fun multiplayer level. It's I remember playing this back in the day, back in the 90s, early 2000s, and it's still a very popular multiplayer level. A lot of people love it. Of course, Kiln still flies in it every once in a while. So definitely check that out, DescentRangers.com. And then we'll get to the DCL over at DescentChampions.org. In the last 2 weeks, we've had 162 games played. Most of those games have been coming from silver versus bronze action. 31 games in that division there. Of course, we had 19 played amongst the bronze, 15 amongst gold, and 11 amongst silver. Gold and silver have been playing 23 times, and we've even seen a lot of diamond and gold action. We'll get to that because diamond versus gold has been very interesting in the last 2 weeks, and some interesting stuff's happening there, but we'll get to that. Starting off first, as we always do in the bronze tier, SDF Jeff and PP Sky continuing their series. They played 9 games in the last 2 weeks. SDF Jeff's taking 7 of them, including a close win, 22-20 in Crimson, but also a dominating win, 20-9 in I Don't Know. That series typically has been dominated by SDF Jeff, but PP Sky picking up 2 wins, hasn't beaten him in a while, so maybe we might see a reversal on this. Who knows? Static has also been playing 2-0 versus bronze, including a win, 20-13. I failed to mention who it was over, but it was Infused. And it has a silver threat, losing 17-20, coming so close to knocking off P-Funk in Mind Tricks. P-Funk's listed a lot on these silver threats here this week, so hopefully he'll pick up his game. We'll get to that. Firex 1-1 versus bronze, including a win in overtime, 24-22 versus Skywarp in Mind Tricks. Mind Tricks also seems to be something that's been mentioned a lot lately. And a silver threat finds him losing 18-20, also against P-Funk, this time in Flea. Swarthy is 2-1 in versus bronze, including a 20-11 win versus Yoda, who is Bird Dog, in Logic. And then the top bronze, B2AF, still tearing it up even after losing his promotion challenge. He's number 15. He's 5-1 against bronze, including a win 20-16 versus Firex in Vamped. He also has a domination win 20-10 versus Swarthy and Flea. But as he plays higher, he has been very interesting, getting 4 silver threats, twice versus War Master and twice versus Vaniac, and 3 Dark Horses, once versus Vaniac, and 2 versus Lady Silver, beating 2 silver pilots in 3 games. Unfortunately, like I said, he had a silver promotion challenge. His last game, he lost 20-10, 3 suicides against Vaniac. Vaniac, a very, very tough opponent. Gave him a -2. I'm sorry, this is a new promotion challenge. So he's got a second promotion challenge coming, and that was his first game. He's got remaining games against Ernie, Lotarbot, War Master. We'll get to War Master and B2AF in a minute, and Lady Silver. So for that roster Vaniac, Ernie, Lothar Bot, War Master, Lady Silver, those are people you do not want to see in your promotion challenge, and yet he's got all 5. So, uh, good luck to B2AF. You will need it. Moving on to the silver tier, we have Melvin. He is 1-2 versus Silver, including a win 20-11 over Vaniac. Very big win against a tough opponent in Logic. He has a gold threat, losing 20-18 versus Bahamut in Godspeed. But I actually came back and beat Bahamut with getting a Dark Horse in the process in Take 2. So Melvin still knocking on the door, but unfortunately he had to retire. Only comments he made were, "Be back later." Hopefully we get Melvin back soon. War Master, his notable action this week is he is 9 wins and no losses versus B2AF. Now, we've talked about B2AF a lot in the last couple months because he has been on a tear. He has been destroying bronze pilots. He has been making life hell for Silver. Silver's been handing out all kinds of dark horses to him. He's been putting threatening scores up and everything, but War Master's having none of it. And he made sure this past week that these past 2 weeks that B2AF was not going to get ahead of him on the ladder. So War Master, nice job. His high win there, of course, is a 20-11 win in Ascend. Watts returning very briefly. I think he only actually played 3 matches, 1-2 versus Silver, but his big win is an overtime 24-22 win against Lady Silver in Mind Tricks with double secondaries. Very good accomplishment for a pilot that just doesn't play all that much. Very scary performance from Watts. Well done. Lady Silver gets revenge, though, as she goes 1-3 versus Silver this week. Beating Watts pretty good, 20-13 in Lurk. So a more traditional single secondary level gives Lady Silver the win there. Vaniac, very active, 6-1 versus Silver. He's got a win in overtime, 21-19 against Melvin and Forte. He's got a dominating win, 20-6 over Watts and Bluebird. That was for the dogfighting trophy. So there's all of Watts. We've mentioned all 3 of Watts' games there. And also a domination win, 20-9 versus Lady Silver in a map called Savage. So some dominating wins in some non-traditional maps and playstyles, but still Vaniac very, very dangerous, as shown with the gold threat on Bahamut, losing 16-20 in Mark 392's home level of Wyndham. And the Dark Horse coming out over Bahamut, 20-15, a victory there in Agile. Now, Bahamut, obviously, we've mentioned his name a few times already. Kind of struggling this week. We'll get more on that a little later. Behemoth is 1-1 versus Gold, and that win over Gold was a Dark Horse 20-16 victory over his brother Bahamut in Black Rose. These two have been playing a lot lately, and it's great to see some action between these two guys. I actually had a chance to view one of their games. It wasn't an actual DCL, but those two, they love the fusion, and seeing those two battle against each other is it's a thing to watch. So if you happen to see that game come up on the tracker, go ahead and give that an observation. It's very fun to watch. But the top silver this week remains with Ernie. He is number 6, and this week he's gone 2-0 against War Master, including a win 20-14 in Mind Tricks and a dominating win against War Master 20-7 in Athena. And he has 4 gold threats against his sparring partner Solja, and 3 times there, and once against Diablo. He also has a Dark Horse victory in overtime, winning 23-21 against Diablo in Vamped X5, that little bug where you can move the slider one step further with the mouse. They used it, put X5 secondaries up, and Ernie comes out on top. And a domination Dark Horse, the only one we have to report on this week, a 20-8 victory over Bahamut in Athena X2. So Ernie, nice showing this week, keeping his top silver spot. Moving on to Gold, and I'm going to use the term Gold loosely with Bahamut. He's 2-5 against Gold this week, including a 20-14 win against Diablo in Vamped X5. He's got a domination win over Diablo, 20-10 in EO X2. But some events have happened recently. He actually rank dropped after a recent 20-10 loss against Jedi Luke, and after we made the cutoff for the spreadsheet, he played one more game against Sirius, and then took a demotion into silver. So this is going to be Bahamut's last week up in gold. So Bahamut joining the ranks of silver. Good luck to him. He could be a very strong, scary opponent. Even as recently as the beginning of this year, he was probably one of the top gold pilots. He had some very good performances, but recently definitely been struggling a bit. Maybe people have been figuring him out. Maybe something else going on. Who knows? Hopefully, him and his brother will get back up to gold soon. But how about somebody that's going from silver to gold? Deimos winning his promotion challenge. I finished with a +3 with a victory, 20-15 over Bahamut and Logic. That gave him a +4, but Bahamut said, I'm not having any of that. Plays him again and gets the -7 with a 20-13 loss in Crimson. But he came back hard. He got another +4 over Diablo, winning in overtime, 22-20 in Fused. And then 2 games against Dracona, lost 17-20 and a loss 15-20, once in Ascend, once in Flee. That gave him 2 more, and he finishes with a +3. So Deimos, I believe that's his second promotion challenge, and he takes it this time. Congratulations to Deimos. Sirius, not very active, but he does show up, getting a win over Bahamut, 20-13 in Mind Tricks. We also have Diablo, and I don't know if his name change is permanent. He's got a name change that I'm not going to try to pronounce. So he's 4-7 first gold, including a tough 23-21 overtime win versus Deimos in Mind Tricks. We have Solja, quite active this week, 7-1 first gold, or last 2 weeks rather, including a 20-13 win over Diablo in Crimson. He's got 3 dominating victories, twice against Bahamut and once against Diablo. And then top gold, number 3, and a marvelous performance the last 2 weeks. This goes to Dracona. 1 over Diablo with a win 24-22 in overtime in Mind Tricks X2. She also has 2 dark horses against Jedi Luke. And that happened twice with the same score, 20-18 in Logic X2 both times. She also got a Diamond Threat the very next game, losing 17-20 against Jedi Luke in Logic X2. And the accomplishment that I wanted to point out for Dracona this week, of all the gold pilots to play Diamond this week, Dracona is the only one to not get dominated. Not only that, no other games outside of Dracona versus Diamond in the gold tier resulted in anything but a domination. So Diamond has been stomping gold, not named Dracona. So a very good performance for Dracona this week, and wanted to point that out. Jedi Luke up in Diamond, 9-2 versus gold, 6 dominations, and they were all gold games, not versus Dracona. Like I said, Jedi Luke, if he's not playing Dracona, you don't have a chance. You're being held to single digits. 3 times versus Deimos, 3 times versus Bahamut. Mark 392, also 3-0 versus gold. Also all dominating victories, and he is the top Diamond, number 1 spot. We haven't had a lot of Diamond versus Diamond action. I don't think we've had a single Diamond versus Diamond game yet. Maybe that can change soon. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we're waiting for August. So, moving on, that's it for the DCL news. So we'll get to the highlight of the week, and the one I wanted to, normally when we pick the highlight of the week, we want to go for something that's got a demo in it, and also we tend to highlight the high matches, the high golds, the diamond matches, and stuff like that. So I took a step back this week, and I really wanted to point out Watts' overtime 24-22 victory over Lady Silver in Mind Tricks X2. Not playing very often, so you got to think he's pretty rusty, but he's still able to pull out those clutch wins when he can. And it was good to see this. You can see the demo from Lady Silver's standpoint when we post the link to the website. Very not the most active 2 weeks, but definitely some really fun games. We got a lot of promotion challenges going on. We got a lot of rank changes. So lots of activity happening over on the DCL. So Lothar Bot mentioning Blue Orb used to be a category. Now Not versus Dracona is a category. I honestly think that will only be for this episode. If this trend continues where Diamond stomps Gold, not named Dracona, that'll be pretty interesting. But yeah, so All right, so that's going to do it. So thank you guys again for watching. Of course, if you want to send us what you're thinking, you can send us an email at self-destructsequence.org. You can tell us how we're doing, what you would like to see included in the show. Make sure to note if you want us to read your name handle, or if you want to be anonymous and a chicken. Walk. Other contact information, of course, Facebook and Twitch. You can find us at SDS Podcast. Over on Twitter, we're SDS_activated. And on the web, you can find us at self-destructsequence.org. And, of course, as mentioned at the top of the show, as long as Morphod's got his stuff going on in real life, we're going to stick to this every other week schedule. Probably a shorter format for a while. So that will put the next episode, I believe, on July 9th, 2 weeks from today. It will be at 2:30 p.m. Eastern, as always. And we have our podcast, of course, uploaded to iTunes. Definitely check that out if you want. You can subscribe to it and leave a rating and review if you do. That's the best way you can help out the podcast. Now, if you want to get back into the game, of course, we have the information for you over at descentchampions.org. It's under descentchampions.org/new_player.php. You can find all the information that you need to get your copy of Descent playing the modern game. Check that out. Watch Facebook and Twitter for our next stream. And until then, I'm Runkly. See you next week.